this idea of the good life being elsewhere does possess people. And I suppose a lot of people now, because Europe is freed up and everything, people move within Germany. A lot of, within Europe, rather. I mean, I said Germany, but I meant Europe. I don't know why I said Germany. But loads of people did go to Germany, actually. Recently, for the World Cup. A lot of English people went over to make uninformed, prejudicial remarks about German people and Germany. Totally ignorant and bigoted. Know nothing about it, but they feel free to insult it. Because they're English and they're bigoted. And because Germany is a toilet. A truly dreadful place. Nobody ever has any reason to go there. It is a totally dreadful place. And that's just the way it is. Because if you're talking to, a modern... I went there. On the same weekend I went to Australia and California. And it's a... You see, the thing is, you're talking to a modern, nice, affable German person, and they're saying to you something like, well, it's a critical time now for Germany within Europe, also globally. Economically, we're pretty good, we have been better, but we're very vibrant in the theatre and arts and so on. All the time you listen to this, you're thinking, Hitler. There's a Hitler when you did the Hitler thing with Hitler. Hitler came out and Hitler. And the people look like pork. You can't get away from that. They do. They look like pork scratchings on a towel. And you can't eat the food because you would have to complain about it, and that would mean speaking German. It's a disgusting language. Nobody should ever speak it. Even Hitler was vegetarian. That's how bad the food is. And you couldn't speak German because it's a horrible sound. It sounds like typewriters eating tinfoil being kicked down the stairs. And somebody is talking to you in German, they're saying, and you think, what is happening to you from behind? How can we make it stop? Please go away. Now that's not prejudice, that's just observation. And the thing is, English people are very bigoted, though, I find. I say that as a neutral Irish person. Ireland wasn't involved in the war at all. Ireland's reaction in the war was to go, what? There's a what on? Sorry, what? I'm not dressed. What is it? What? You want to what? You need to... what? What is it? A war? Oh, it's all over. Is it? Oh, we'll go. Yeah, what do you want? And not very useful. But English people are quite prejudiced, I think. Because I've noticed this recently, because I have lots of English friends who are very dear to me, and I realized recently, when you're talking to an English person and you're from elsewhere, they share with you. They do a lovely thing when they're talking to you. They impersonate you as they're talking to you. Somebody says to me, do you want another drink then? In that English voice that suggests they're just about to die at any moment. Do you want another drink? I would. I'd love another drink. That'd be great. That'd be grand. Thank you. They do you. They go, I would, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be lovely. What the fuck are you doing? Laughing, it's just funny because you're Irish and that, Because that's still how Irish people are seen, as twinkly-eyed fuckers with a pig under their arm, high-stepping it around the world, going, I'll paint your house now, but watch out, I might steal the ladder. Ho, 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 ho. Which is only half true. The thing is, though, that Irish people are just far more emotional. We include emotion in our culture. You're talking to an English person, you don't know if they've recently died or just got married. Because of that English smile. Hello, hello. Looks like you have a rotten oyster under your tongue. Hello, good morning, don't touch me, stay away. How are you? Hello. And either that, or when emotion does appear, it's violent. They come and play football with you and rip the shit out of the stadium and eat the chairs. Whereas somewhere like Ireland, it's more hot-blooded, there's drama included in the fabric of every day. It's there every moment. People wake up going, oh God! What time is it? It's 6 minutes to 9. Is it? I thought it was only 7 minutes to. We're all fucked. What's the weather like? Don't tell me, I can't bear to hear, I'll look myself. Ah! It's fierce mild. What are we having for breakfast? Are you going to do that thing again with the bread where you put it in the box and burn it? Whose trousers are these? Come on, we'll both try them at once and see who wins. It's just much more emotional at all times, for no real reason. No, I'm talking about all this, obviously. I'm talking about children and all that kind of, and jobs, mentioning these things to pretend to you that I have an ordinary life. And this is because I'm relating to you, and you're ordinary people. looking up at me with a mixture of awe, envy, and lust. And the thing is, my life is very different. I can't pretend it's not. You know, when you go to work in the morning and you're going to the newsagent and everything to get your lunch of crisps and fags or stones or whatever it is you people live on, you know, it's a long time since I lived in a house or ate food. You see all these magazines, because of the times we live in now, the culture, you know, this celebrity stuff, all this wall of dreams behind you with, you know, Brad and Angelina and me and everybody else up there looking down on you, making you feel even more ordinary. But what you forget is that we all want to be you. We all want to have, you know, 2.3 children and live in a house where nobody speaks to one another and work in a building society or something. We lie awake at night, tossing and turning, masturbating with both hands, with boutique chocolates falling out of our mouths, wishing we could be you, living somewhere like Willesden. And it's doubly difficult for me, because I'm an Irish celebrity. That's a very hard gig, you know, because not many people do it. There aren't very many of them, and none of them are cool. You look at Geldof or Bono or anything, they can't do cool. You put, you know, Bowie or Lou Reed on the cover of Time magazine, of course they look cool, because they can do all that stuff, all those looks. You know, the ones that say, I don't even know you're there, but if I did, I'd ignore you. I'm having people flown in from other galaxies just to come and scratch me. You can't do that if you're Irish, because you have the face, you know, and an Irish face always looks like it's been told two very important pieces of information at the same time. At one shoulder, somebody's just run up and said, you've just won £100,000,000 and loads of stuff. And at the other shoulder, somebody's just whispered in their ear, but you only have 3 minutes to live. That's why everybody looks like this. All the politicians and everybody you see on television always look like they're just about to pull a ham sandwich out of their pocket. And it doesn't actually belong to them. You kind of prop yourself up with all those things, you know, holidays and stuff, especially in this part of the world. When people get depressed here, they don't really handle it very well. In other cultures, they do something useful. You know, they have a rain dance, or they throw stones at one another or something. But here, when people get pissed off, they go, I can't carry on, I don't understand my life anymore, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't fucking handle it, I can't deal with anything, including these cornflakes, I just don't know what's going on. I can't do it. Fuck it, I'll buy a CD. I'll get a CD and a jacket, fuck everybody. But because you're out of your mind, not feeling well, you go and you buy stuff you didn't really want anyway, you know, the Ecuadorian women's folk choir doing the songs of Kenny Rogers. And you bring it back, some canary yellow jacket with purple buttons up the front, and you look at this and you think, what is this shit? What was I thinking? So you take it to a charity shop. That generally is the extent of our charity. We give away all the shit we never needed or wanted in the first place. And that's why charity shops themselves have that incredible funk of depression, the layered smell, and all the women who work in there are 103, and they were 20 when they turned up for work that morning. They just aged in the smell. Presumably, as well, there are people going into those shops as well who think, when they look at the stuff, they go, look, that mirror in the shape of a cello covered in seashells is a fucking bargain. Do you have any more of those? Do you? I need about 10. So, what takes you out of that? What will get you away from all that? All the interiority you don't need. But children are very good, actually, for that. Teaching you about the world. Peeing on you. It's hard to feel sorry for yourself and your past if you wake up with somebody sitting on your face saying, I'm hungry. But, you know, Women are more supportive of one another around children. If a woman gets pregnant, you know, other women pitch in and they sort of talk about it, and it's far more useful. You know, when men are about to have a child, if they have young male single friends, they're not so good. You know this. You know, your male friends arrive and they stand there and they look at you and they come and see the baby and they don't really know how to deal with it. You know, they don't get it, because they go, well, I'm here, you know, your house is a medley of disgusting smells, there's nothing to eat, everybody's wearing bathrobes, there's no bar, I can't fuck anybody, why am I here? And women tend to be more mature. You know, men look at breasts the way women look at babies. Oh, isn't that lovely? And if a woman gets pregnant, all the women she's ever met in her whole life will appear from all corners of the earth to support her by telling her horror stories of all the pregnancies they've ever heard about. It's fantastic what you're doing. I love the way you're handling this. It won't be like what happened to Michelle. What? What happened to Michelle? Oh, did I say Michelle? I didn't mean to mention that. I'm sorry. Don't worry. She was a fool. She ate vegetables and drank water. The baby came out her ear. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Nothing will happen to you. She can't sit down now. Nobody in the family talks to one another. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Now, I meant to talk about something else earlier on, and I forgot what it was. I've remembered what it is again, but I've also forgotten. And that's really what adulthood is like most of the time. You know, you spend a lot of time walking back to the room to get the thing that you left the room so that you would go and use it somewhere else, and on your way back to the room to get the thing, you forget not only what it is, but what room it was in. And you're faced with the people who love you looking at you going, what do you want? Why are you here? And you go, I don't know. You spend an awful lot of time like that. And children aren't like that, which is why they look so young, because they always have a sense of style and purpose. When they're walking around, they have a very definite purpose. They're walking and walking, and it's a great walk as well. It's not an adult sort of bemused shuffle. It's that, I'm going over here. You say, why are you going over there? Because I have a harmonica. What are you doing with a harmonica? I'm going to put it in the toilet. And why are you doing that? Enough questions. Goodbye. Because children express themselves. That's how they look young and vibrant and alive, and why we all envy them. The child, you know, the children can be incredibly difficult to understand when you're grown up. You forget that you were a child. Something simple like a child going to bed. You know, you say bedtime, bedtime, bedtime. That's not what the child hears. What the child hears is lie down in the dark. For hours. And don't move. I'm locking the door now. So the child has trouble with that, so of course you make a concession. You read a fairy tale or something, you know, all the wisdom of the world compacted into a little story. And you say there was a little girl lost many, many miles from home, walking through the woods, late at night with the creatures all hooting and howling in the bushes around her, stepping over the roots of trees. And she came to the old sty and began to climb it, but it broke, you see. It broke and she fell down. But then when she got herself up, she was all right, and you could see the lights at home. And she began to walk towards home, and then a thing ate her. Good night. Night-night. You probably sent the child to bed because you were just tired talking to the child, because the child asks you questions. You see, and this is one of the great things about having a child. You look forward to teaching this child about the world and how it works. But the children they're like children, but they're bigger and they're webbed. They're not really interested in your views on the world. You know, they have their own questions. What is the name of the spaces in between the bits that stick out on a comb? I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, what do you call the place underneath the kettle? I don't know! Bedtime. It's difficult. Children sleep in your bed. This is part of having children. It's very important for a child's development to sleep in the grown-up's bed because their bones are growing in particular directions. You see, what happens is children are actually very sophisticated. They sleep in your bed for a reason. The child is born, it takes a look around, it thinks, well, this isn't quite what I'd hoped for. These people are idiots. I wouldn't have painted the house like this at all. But I've got to make the best of it. So I've got to maximize my resources. So the key thing is to stop these people having any more children. So children get urine samples sent through the post and sprinkle it on their beds. They're busy people. They don't have time to pee the beds themselves. And then they crawl into your bed. And because their bones are growing and everything, they can only sleep in certain positions, obviously. The crucifix and the swastika tend to be the most popular. Sometimes a combination of the two. But the thing that really relaxes a child is to have the big toenails lodged squarely in your respective genitalia. That ensures a blissful night's slumber. Then the sexual kidnapping is complete. No touchy-touchy, no kissy-kissy. You two need lots of sleep. I have many questions for tomorrow. Very important.